Good evening. I'm Captain Evan Peterson, Academy Commander of the Ben Clark Training Center. I want to welcome you to this evening's 102nd Basic Correctional Deputy Academy graduation. Tonight truly represents that payoff for the hard work and dedication put forth by your recruits. I would now like to acknowledge the Academy staff who have worked so hard with this class. And I heard some cheers already. Absolutely. It's quite the accomplishment tonight. I agree with you. From the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, from my left to right, Correctional Sergeant Kevin Gamendi. Correctional Deputy Joey Monzone. Correctional Deputy Lisa Owen. And Correctional Deputy Jillian Stifler. Thank you, TAC staff, for your hard work and dedication. I'm sure all of you are wondering what truly your loved ones have been doing over the past 12 weeks. I can assure you they certainly put in a lot of hard work and sometimes even had a little fun. And I recognize that term is relative. We often had more fun. I do recognize that. Class 102 did prepare a video to show you some of the highlights of their training. We hope you enjoy watching the video as much as I know they enjoyed making it. If we could please roll the video for me. We definitely didn't have one in the past that said, I'll also taste it. It's nothing like hot sauce to me. And then actually do it, as you saw. We were highly impressed. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please stand and join me in welcoming Correctional Deputy Academy, Class 102. Sergeant Gomendi, please present your class. If I could have everyone please remain standing for the invocation, Pledge of Allegiance, and National Anthem. I'd like to welcome Chaplain Thimba Mizizi from the Riverside County Sheriff's Department this evening, who's going to lead us in the invocation. Chaplain?
Let us pray. Eternal Lord, We congratulate these graduates and celebrate with them their success. They have worked hard to be where they are today. We thank you, Lord, for their families and friends who supported them as they were going through this training. Their class motto is, "Without commitment, there is no change." These graduates understand that every commitment is a choice. They understand that every commitment that brings change requires personal responsibility, dedication, honesty, integrity, faithfulness, devotion, and loyalty. I pray, therefore, dear Lord, that these graduates will bring a positive change in the lives of those they will be serving and become an added blessing to the department as they endeavor living by their class motto. As they receive the badge of authority tonight, I pray that they will always remember that to whom much is given, much will be required. Authority comes with responsibility and accountability. I pray, dear Lord, that their cup of blessings will overflow and that your goodness and mercy will follow them throughout their career of law enforcement. May the unseen angels watch over them as they serve others above self. In your holy name I pray, amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. While presenting the flag of the United States and during the Pledge of Allegiance and National Anthem, it's appropriate and lawful that all citizens stand and place their right hand over their heart while facing the flag. In compliance with federal law and in grateful honor for what the flag represents, those in uniform and veterans who are present and not in uniform are to render a military salute and remain silent. Uniformed personnel, members of the armed forces, my veterans, when the color guard gives the command, present arms. Please render the appropriate salute during the Pledge of Allegiance and National Anthem. After the Pledge of Allegiance and National Anthem, the color guard will give you the command, order arms, at which time you may stop saluting, and those in civilian attire can remove their hand from their heart at that time. Leading us in the pledge this evening, I have Moreno Valley College Dean of Instruction, Phil Rawlings, and singing the National Anthem from the Riverside Sheriff's Department, Correctional Deputy Jessica Brady. Dean?
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Thank you, Dean Rawlings and Correctional Deputy Brady and the Color Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Class 102, take your seats. At this time, I'd like to introduce our honored guests and ask them to please stand as I read their names. From the Moreno Valley College, Dean of Instruction, Phil Rawlings. From the Inyo County Sheriff's Office, we have Sheriff Stephanie Rennie. Pomona Police Department, I have Deputy Chief Christian Shu. From the Santa Ana Police Department, Jail Administrator Jaime Manriquez. From the Riverside Sheriff's Association, President Bill Young. And from the Riverside County Sheriff's Office, I have Sheriff Chad Bianco. Under Sheriff Donald Sharp. Assistant Sheriff Edward Delgado. And my chiefs, Chief Deputy James Armstrong. Correctional Chief Deputy James Kratchmer. Correctional Chief Misha Graves. Chief Deputy Paul Bennett. Chief Deputy Misty Reynolds. And Chief Zachary Hall. Thank you, honored guests, for your attendance. You know, the graduation for us is that culmination of 12 weeks of intensive training that you got to see a little snippet on the screen, where they've received education in criminal law, professionalism, ethics, defense tactics. The list for us goes on and on over that full 12 weeks. The Academy truly holds our recruits to the highest standards, and for this reason, I know those in attendance tonight can feel truly proud of their accomplishments. To make our formal presentation of the 102nd Basic Correctional Deputy Academy, I would like to introduce Correctional Sergeant Kevin Gamendi of the Riverside Sheriff's Department. Sergeant Gamendi is what we all know as the Master Drill Instructor, that Academy Basic Course Coordinator. That position has the most influence on our recruits. Throughout the Academy, he becomes the tutor, disciplinarian, mentor, and even friend. It's my distinct pleasure to introduce Correctional Sergeant Kevin Gamendi.
Thank you, Captain Peterson. Good evening. On behalf of the Academy staff, I'd like to thank you for attending the graduation ceremony of the 102nd Basic Correctional Deputy Academy. I'd like to thank our honored guests from the Moreno Valley College, Riverside Community College District, and all the law enforcement agency executives for attending our graduation ceremony this evening. Today, your presence means a great deal to the Academy staff, and most importantly, our graduates. Lastly, I'd like to thank each of you, especially the families and the friends who have supported these recruits during their time in the Academy. It is because of your support that you have shown which gave these recruits the strength to make it through this challenging yet rewarding process. Our Academy is one of the most respected and challenging in California. The Basic Correctional Deputy Academy requires drive, discipline, motivation, and attention to detail. At the beginning of each academy, we question if everyone who reports on day one will be here come graduation day. So here today are 46 of the 58 recruits who started, excelled, and accomplished this challenging training program. You demonstrated the heart and strength of mind that you began your journey on December 6th. We put you through training that is very realistic to what the job requires as correctional staff, but as I expressed throughout the academy, there is a method to my madness, and all the training will better prepare you for your careers. Class 102, enjoy this moment, your journey through all the sweat, tears, frustrations, and challenges you found within yourself to live up to your class motto. Without commitment, there is no change. Class 102, you're about to embark on a new career in law enforcement. You have chosen a path that is full of hazards, but one supported by character and courage. Our job was to prepare you for your new position, but the ultimate goal is your success in your career. The Academy staff is motivated to know that we have prepared you for strength and skill, knowledge, strength in heart and mind. We tore you down to build you up to the outstanding person standing here today. TAC staff and I stand here proudly, confident in your ability, joyful in your memories, and inspired by your spirit to never give up. Class 102, be proud of what you have accomplished, proud of the career that you have chosen and the badge and patch that you wear. But with that, be humbled by the responsibility it carries. On behalf of the Riverside County Sheriff's Department Corrections Training Unit, it is my pleasure to announce this class has met all training requirements set forth by the Board of State and Community Corrections and the 832 PC training requirements outlined in the California Penal Code. These recruits are prepared to graduate for the 102nd Basic Correctional Deputy Academy. Good luck and God bless you. I would now like to recognize and introduce Class 102's class president, Recruit Miguel Leyva. Miguel displayed outstanding leadership, dedication, and maturity throughout the academy. His fellow recruits and academy staff recognize and greatly appreciate these qualities. Recruit Leyva is 33 years old. He was born in Los Angeles and grew up in Carson and Moreno Valley. Miguel is married to his wife, Jennifer. They have been together for 11 years and married for 3. He grew up working at his mother's restaurant where she taught him the importance of having a good work ethic. In 2012, he enlisted in the Army National Guard and is still currently serving as a military police soldier. His 11-year career in the military included 4.5 years of state active duty, 2-year mobilization, and an activation during the 2020 riots. Lastly, Recruit Leyva enjoys photography and traveling with his wife. Please welcome Recruit Leyva.
Thank you, Sergeant McGindy. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and distinguished guests. I would like to thank you all for being here today, a day that we will remember for the rest of our lives. The women and men seated before you today have endured 12 weeks of rigorous physical and academic training. The road to success has been a tough one to navigate. Then again, they say nothing worth doing is ever easy. I remember the morning of December 6, 2022. I had arrived to the Ben Clark Training Center at 5 o'clock in the morning, which was exactly 2 hours before our official start time. I tossed and turned the night before due to anxiety and the dreams I had about the challenge that was waiting for me the next day. For my class, that challenge came to fruition at 0700 when Lieutenant Kohler made a phone call and she spoke 2 words that I'll always remember. They're ready. Hoorah, Lieutenant Kohler. We could hear the sirens from a distance and they were getting closer and closer. I was at the front of the formation and I had a front row seat as Sergeant Gamendi stepped out of his unit and began shouting, "Run in place and get on your face right now." As we ran from the parking lot to the grinder, I remember thinking to myself, I wasn't ready, but there was no turning back now. Our TAC staff had 2 missions throughout the academy. The first mission was to weed out the weak, to separate the ones that did not have the heart to be here from the ones that were going to give it their all. Their second mission was to create top quality deputies from the few that remained. The top quality deputies and the ones that didn't have an ounce of quit in them are the ones that are seated here before you today. We all had heard about First Friday, which is our next challenge. And it was almost like a rite of passage, and we had successfully made it past First Friday. A lot of us thought that we had smooth sailing after passing that first week. Well, we couldn't have been more wrong. Enter defensive TAC staff, or DT staff for short. DT staff was like TAC staff on steroids. The popular consensus in the class was that we would much rather be on the grinder than be in the mat room. Our mind change began to change when we realized that DT staff were not just working us for their quote-unquote entertainment, they were getting us ready for the day that we would have to fight for our own survival. They were teaching us to never give up and to always fight through the pain. That was the main priority of our TAC staff and DT staff. So on behalf of Class 102, DT staff and TAC staff, I would like to thank you for your dedication, the lessons, and your mentorship. Our warrior mentality developed even more as we progressed into the academy. We looked forward to the quality time that we spent with our tax staff on the grinder. Now, some may say that the grinder sessions were probably the worst part of the academy. So you may ask yourself, why would we look forward to that? Well, the reason for that was because we became closer as a class. We began to change our mindset. We no longer looked at grinder sessions as a quote-unquote punishment, but we looked at it more as a work session, as a session where we're gonna put in our time, get stronger than we were the day before, and earn our pay. And that's exactly what we did. It worked so well that we actually began to miss it when we didn't go to the grinder. We came together just a little bit every time, and eventually we became a little family. And at the risk of sounding like a Fast and the Furious movie, family in this line of work really means a lot. And we will learn what true meaning of family means. Unfortunately, on December 29th, 2022, we lost a brother, Deputy Isaiah Cordero. Then we lost another brother on January 13th, Deputy Darnell Calhoun. The department lost 2 of their best, and the citizens of Riverside County lost 2 guardians. Our brothers made the ultimate sacrifice by doing what they loved, which was to serve their community and keep it safe from those who desired harm on others. John 15:13 says, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." I want you to think about that for a second. Think about how much love you must have to lay your life on the line for a friend. After you think about that, think about this. How many of you will lay down your life for a stranger? Well, that's exactly what Deputies Cordero and Calhoun did. They gave their lives for their community, for people they had never met, for the purpose of service above self. The meaning of family was on full display during the services, as members of countless departments from across the state, country, and members of the community came out and showed their full support. It takes a special person to want to do this job. It takes a little bit more to be chosen, and it takes a lot more to actually follow through with it. You can't teach selflessness and servitude. You can't teach sacrifice or bravery. You're either born with it or you're not. These characteristics are displayed day in and day out by the men and women in uniform. It is not an easy career, and we couldn't make it without our families. To our families in the audience, I would like to say thank you for supporting each and every one of us. You are the backbone of our career and success. You made the academy bearable. You kept our hopes up when we'd come home sore and drained. You were the reason why we didn't quit. That support and love will always be needed in this career, especially for each and every one of us as we move forward. You forgave us when we forgot birthdays and anniversaries. You were understanding when we didn't give you our full attention. And you may or may have not noticed, but you're in the academy with us as well. Your lives changed just like ours did. Your love and support have meant to us a lot more than you would ever know. So thank you. Finally, to my class, thank you. Each and every single one of you made the academy fun. Thank you for the memories, for the experience, and for reminding me that we were in this together, and that by coming together, we will make it to graduation. Well, here we are. Every single one of you motivated me, whether it was through your positive attitudes, friendly competitions, or checking each other when our egos got in the way. As you all know, I would be the first one to show up at the parking lot, and that would give me time to think. On some days, I remember thinking, man, today's gonna suck. But that would all change as the vehicles would pull into the parking lot, or when Hyder would come up to me and say, "Good morning, sir," even though he's 20 years my senior. Or when Garcia would come smiling and say, "Yo, Leva." I saw that camaraderie more and more after every grinder session and fun runs. It was on full display when we had to turn our guidon back in the mud. Then you voted me as your class president. You all teased me about it for weeks before you guys even voted. I recall Machado being one of the first ones to say, "Dude, you know you're class president, right?" And as much as I fought it and tried to convince you that there were other recruits that had better qualities and could meet the class president title, you still voted me in. So thank you for making me fight for Red Men. Thank you for making me the one to write this speech and recite it to everybody and on live. But in all seriousness, I would like to thank you for giving me the honor to lead you and for putting your trust in me. When I became your class president, I asked 3 things from you. Those 3 things were integrity, professionalism, and punctuality. If you follow those rules, I promise you that you will get far in your career, and you'll always be better for it. As you move forward and you get to your assignments, remember that quitters never win and winners never quit. You are all winners here today, and you need to carry that until you retire. When you quit, you fail not only yourself, but your partners as well. Your life depends on them just as their lives depend on you. I will end this with a quote from a man that has always inspired me, Medal of Honor recipient, Master Sergeant Roy Benavides. He said, "We are all American. I am proud to be an American, even prouder that I earned the privilege to wear the Green Beret. I live the mantra of duty, honor, country. Today, we have earned the privilege to wear our badge, and we will always live the mantra of service above self. Never forget the responsibilities of a badge and what it represents. Thank you."
Thank you, Recruit Leva. We're honored this evening to have as our keynote speaker from the Riverside Sheriff's Department, our 14th Sheriff. Please join me in welcoming Sheriff Chad Bianco.
Thank you very much, and welcome to all of you tonight. Thank you for coming tonight to support these men and women as they graduate and begin what I hope is a long and fantastic career. My academy graduation, we just heard that they're going to remember this for the rest of their life, and that is extremely true. I promise you will. My academy graduation was 30 years ago. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember staring out at all of these faces thinking, what in the heck did I get myself into? And listening to speakers and listening to speeches and the excitement that I had, the pride that I had, the pride that I know my family had supporting me was immense. And I know that that is going on here. They should be proud of themselves. I hope you all are. I am extremely proud of you for picking our department. For those of you that picked other departments, that's okay too, because we are proud of them, and we are all partners in what we call this profession of law enforcement. We are blessed to have you all here, and we are very lucky to have an academy that is able to train outside agencies and outside partners for their careers. So thank you all for coming. Thank you for supporting. I'm going to be a little bit at loss for words because I'm going to try and figure out how the class president found my speech and verbatim pretty much destroyed everything. So I'll try and come up with some other things. But first, he hit on this a little bit, but right now I would like family members, whether you're parents, mothers, fathers, spouses, brothers and sisters that are here for these academy cadets to please stand up. Boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, mother, father. Please stay standing. Exactly. So for all of you, I want you to look out there and I want you to give a very loud round of applause for their support and their love of getting you through this academy. For the rest of your careers, whether we call this a family of law enforcement or not, they are your family, and they will be your support that gets you through this profession. So a big round of applause for them. Thank you all. You can be seated. And when you all get home tonight, if they don't personally thank you, you need to email me so I can talk to them in the morning. These men and women on stage are not the same men and women that started the first week of December. They are different mentally. They are different physically. I think they're about 500 pounds less than what they started. And most importantly, I truly do believe that they are a completely different mentality in that when they showed up here that first day, they had no idea what they're getting into. And right now, I'm fairly confident that our tax staff did an extremely professional and job well done in that they are all ready to assume their responsibilities tomorrow in a long and illustrious career in law enforcement. So congratulations to all of you. One of the other things that he stole from me, it takes a special person, first of all, to want to get into this profession. And I congratulate all of them for feeling that drive, for feeling that in your soul that this is what you wanted to do. I am a firm believer in that this profession picks us. We do not pick it. I don't know of anyone that would want to pick a profession where you're going to come to work to get spit on, swore at, called names. The general public is going to call you all racist, whether you know it or not yet. It's going to happen. They're going to accuse you of things that no one would ever in their right mind do in a day of work, but that's what you picked. So to pick that, and I hope I'm not breaking any hearts right now, but none of you are going to be wealthy. So if you got into this profession to be rich, I have some construction people and some real estate people out here that need to talk to you after. This is a true calling to get into law enforcement. You picked that calling. But what I really want to just go back to is it takes a special family to support this. And without it, they are not going to have a fantastic career. It takes a lot. We had a promotions ceremony today. And our promotion ceremonies are almost as memorable to us as this day will be for you. But one thing about a promotion ceremony is it takes a lot to make sure that your supervisors, that your peers, make sure that you are prepared to be a supervisory position or to a position of a promotion. And while that effort is put in at work, the sacrifices are made at home for you to come and put that effort in at work. So this entire thing, we call it a law enforcement family. We call it a thin blue line, however you want to refer to it as. But I'm here to tell you that all of you, just because you're not wearing these uniforms, you are still part of that family, because we know that your support system at home is what allows them to do this job. So again, thank you very, very much. So as I continue, no, that's okay, you can clap. You're all important. As I continue, I want to give you some advice. I want to give you some words of wisdom and hopefully make it to where you enjoy this career and you have a long and healthy career with our department or the department that you choose. Our president mentioned that 3 weeks into their academy, they lost a brother. That was extremely difficult for us. It's an unfortunate reality of law enforcement that those things happen. It made it worse. By 2 weeks later, we had to go through it again. And while they all kept coming back every single day, I know the effort that you all had, the mental effort that it took for all of you to continue to support and encourage them in this line of work took a lot, and it's going to have to continue to be your goal to make this a good and long career for them. I will promise you that there is nothing more rewarding than a career in law enforcement. There's a reason why we do it for 30 and 40 years, and sometimes we go kicking and screaming when we leave. You're going to find that there is nothing better than this profession. It brings excitement, it brings adrenaline, it brings a little bit of physical activity, and the rewards and the friendships that you are going to build and the closeness that you are going to build with your peers is unlike any other profession out there. The unfortunate part of where we are in society is that we are not looked at as the honorable profession that we should be by certain people, certain few people, and certain people in the media. I can tell you that 100% of the people in this room support law enforcement and support their effort in what they were doing. And this is for your benefit. I can tell you that probably in the high 90% of the population, and it unfortunately we can't say 100, but I would be willing to say 99% of the population appreciates and respects law enforcement and the job that we do to keep us all safe and secure. We know that it's a necessity. We know that we cannot function in a civil society without law enforcement, and the general public knows that. It's very hard to ignore that loud few, but I hope you are all able to do that. Know that it is an extreme small minority, and if you ignore that, continue in your mission of integrity, of honesty, of doing the right thing, we can destroy all of those myths and all of those basically wrong comments and impressions that people have of us, and that is your challenge. As I look out at my peers, the ones with 30, 40, late 20s, 25, 30 years, 40 years experience in law enforcement, we're leaving. You all are the future of law enforcement. 30 years ago, I sat on this stage. 30 years later, I'm standing as the sheriff of Riverside County. That could be one of you. Keep that in mind as you progress through your career. When you progress through your career, you have to have the mentality that where will I be in 30 years? Am I going to have the integrity, the strength, the commitment, the respect of my peers, the respect of my community to be able to be in this position? And you have to think about that every day, every single day. We heard from our president about the things that they want to be proud of, their integrity, I'll throw an extra one out there, is honesty. Honesty in everything that we do is paramount. There is not one profession out there that is harder to get than a career in law enforcement. I promise you, any one of you can go to med school. You only have to pass. You don't even have to get A's. You get a D, you still pass. You're still a D for doctor. It's not like that in law enforcement. Your law enforcement career started pretty much in your childhood, because that's how far back we went in our background investigations to even decide if we were going to pick you to be into this profession. We don't pick you if you've made ethical lapses in your past. We don't pick you if you have no integrity. We don't pick you if you don't have a good work ethic that you've shown. Those are the people that we pick for law enforcement. Those are the people that make it to day one of the academy. The people that make it to the end of the academy, these fine men and women entering my chosen profession, are the ones that endured what we put them through in the academy. We broke them down. We proved to them that individuals fail and teams succeed. The law enforcement team will always succeed. Individuals will always fail. Always remember that as you progress through your career. There's several things that I want to give you advice of to take with you throughout your careers that will make you successful. I do this at every academy, and it's my 4 F's. They're not swear words. There's lots of kids out here. There's no need to worry. The first one is faith. If you do not have a relationship with God, I'm encouraging you to find one, because that relationship will help you through all of the negative aspects of this career. All of the negativity that you come across, all of the hardships that you find in this career, it will make it much more easier to get through with you and your family if you have that relationship. So I encourage you to all find it. After faith comes your family. Your family is the absolute most important thing in your life. When we say blue family, we say our law enforcement family, that is true, but they are the ones that are there till the very end. Coworkers come and go. Your family is always your family. Honor your family, respect your family. When you go home, tell your family what you did at work. Explain to them what you did. Tell them about the disaster that you saw at work today. Tell them about the messed up people that you were dealing with. Because if you don't say those things out loud, you're going to internalize them, and that's going to drive a wedge between you and your family. So for all of you family members, I'm giving you permission to call me when their personality starts changing, and we will make sure we fix it. You don't want to go down that path of being hard. You don't want to go down that path of thinking that every person is an inmate. They're not. You can't treat your wife worse, your kids, like they're inmates. Trust me, that's from experience. The next F word is friends. You are going to make lifelong friends in this profession, but I want to encourage you to have friends outside of law enforcement. You need a perspective that is outside this world to keep you grounded. While you have to have these friends, and these friends are going to save your life one day, or you may save their life one day, you have to realize that there's more to life than coming to work. It has to be a strong, well-balanced with your family. So keep that in mind. Always cherish them. Always do everything in your power to make sure that you put them before this job. That's really in order for me. The next is fitness. I really do believe there's at least 500 pounds difference between where you are today and where you started. You have to maintain a healthy balance. You learned about Lifetime Fitness. You learned about Lifetime Healthy Eating in the Academy. I can't stress that enough. If you forget about it, you're going to regret it later, because you're going to suffer health problems, you're going to suffer injuries, and you have to make sure that you do everything you can to make it to the 30 years. Please make it to the 30 years. Normally I would do this at the very end, but it's fitting to do it now. It is extremely important for you to always remember this. So because you guys can't tell, and I know you only see the first row, there's some terror going on in these eyes up here. They're shaking, that's okay though. So I want you to relax. Every single one of you relax. I want you to pat your legs, feel your legs, tug on your pants. Nobody's doing it. That's an order. I can fire you all. You're all on probation. Feel your pants. What do they feel like? Just relax, grab them, everything. Feel what they feel like against your skin. Feel what they feel like. Move around in your seat. In 30 years, when you retire, I want every single one of you in those same pair of pants. Lifetime Fitness, lifetime of healthy eating will keep you to the end, the same size as you are today, and you'll enjoy retirement. The last thing we want is for you to die of a heart attack the day after your retirement. So take to heart what your academy has taught you, what DT staff has taught you, and maintain that level of fitness and that level of health. I seriously was dreading our academies that happened in the last two ones. 2 weeks ago, we had a deputy graduation, and this one with all of you. And the only reason is because of what's happened to us in the last 2 months. This has been an extremely difficult month and a half, 2 months for us in losing two of our brothers and two of our partners. And it hit me hard, and I knew I was going to have to get up in front of these academies and talk to them, because that 30 years ago, as I sat on this stage and looked out at all at you and was wondering who was going to be our keynote speaker, I watched a young, relatively attractive young woman walk up on stage. She was pregnant, and she began to give her speech, and very quickly, all of us in the academy, the cadets, realized that this was the pregnant woman who had just lost her husband, who was a Riverside County Sheriff's deputy, who was murdered in the line of duty. And bring that 30 years forward, I'm now the sheriff, and I have to go through those two in custody, or those two line of deaths. And then I have to come in and bring it back to the academies as you graduate, knowing that during your class, you lost two of your brothers, which is a stark reality of this line of work. It certainly isn't common. It had been 20 years since it happened for us, but it is a reality. I want you all to make sure that you maintain a very proactive approach to keeping yourself safe. You can't take things for granted. You can't take inmates for granted. As much as politicians would like us to call them justice-involved personnel or whatever name they want us to call them, I'm telling you they are all criminals. I'm telling you they are all going to take advantage of you if you let them. That's why they're in jail. They are criminals. And if you let your guard down, if you assume that they're your friends, if you assume that you're going to change their life and make them all better, you're going to get taken advantage of. And I'm going to be selfish here. I don't want to be put in a position where I have to tell another pregnant girl that we lost her husband. It's an unfortunate, sad reality, but it can be avoided. It could be avoided, and I want you all to make sure that you maintain that poise, that confidence, that self-control, that command presence that will keep you safe. This is a fantastic career. I promise you, you are all going to absolutely love it. I am proud that you picked us. I am proud that you picked the agencies that you chose, that you worked for, where you live. I can tell you that I speak for them, that they are just as proud of you as I am if you're wearing a Riverside County patch. No matter what, you are brothers and sisters in law enforcement, and you are and will always be part of our family. So congratulations on a well-earned graduation. Congratulations for picking this fantastic career. It is up to you to take this profession into the future when we all leave. You do that by maintaining your integrity, by maintaining your honesty. Everything that you do at work and in your private life at home reflects on this patch and this badge. And I want you to always remember that. If you do, your integrity, your honesty, your respect that you earn and gain as a person will carry you long into this career, and you will promote as far as you possibly can. The last thing I'm going to say is one of the F words, and the last thing I will say is I want you to look out at everyone in this front row here, and that's the F that I'm talking about is the front row. There are chiefs, there's a sheriff, there are assistant sheriffs, chiefs, assistant chiefs, leaders of law enforcement organizations. There's a president of a deputies association. There's a director of an academy. All of these people have one thing in common. Probably many, but one that I know every single one of them have. Not one of them has ever woke up and said, I'm going to go to work and be mediocre today. Not one of them. They are there because they have dedicated themselves to their careers. They have dedicated themselves to making every day of their lives and the people around them better. And that's what I challenge all of you to do. I challenge you that by the time you finish your career, be one of those people in that front row, leading some other organization or maybe this organization down a better path. So congratulations on choosing this. Congratulations on finishing this. And I look forward to many more promotions for some of you and hearing what the others of you are doing. Congratulations.
Thank you, Sheriff. We will now conduct the badge pinning ceremony and issue the Academy diplomas to the graduates. We certainly invite you to celebrate your loved ones' accomplishments. Feel free to applaud and cheer. Let them know you're out there. I'd like to invite the family members of each of our graduates to come forward and take photographs during this portion of the ceremony. You may come to the front of the stage when your family or loved one is getting their badge pinned right up here in front. I certainly do ask you just to wait until your loved one stands up and makes their way towards the stage before moving to the front, and I'll certainly have staff standing by to assist. After taking photographs, if you could return to your seat so I have room for the next ones to come as well. If you're pinning a badge, I know I saw some movement to my right, do make your way to the stairs for me as we'll get started on the badge pinning part of things. Up first tonight, we have the Inyo County Sheriff's Department. Sheriff Stephanie Rennie here with us to pin her folks. First up, Correctional Officer Hunter Thomas. Up next, Correctional Officer Aspen Young. Thanks, Sheriff. Up next, the Pomona Police Department. We have Deputy Chief this evening, Christian Sue, here. Up first for them, Jailer Vanessa Machado. Up next, I have Jailer Richard Walzak. Pinning will be his father, Captain Rick Walzak from the Covina Police Department. Thank you, sir. Santa Ana Police Department's up next. Making our badge presentation, Jail Administrator Jaime Manriquez. Up first, Corrections Officer Natalie Anguiano. Corrections Officer Alexander Selavos. And Corrections Officer Nicholas Torres. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Up next, the Riverside Sheriff's Department. Up first, Correctional Deputy Isabel Alanis. Pinning the badge, Correctional Sergeant Gamendi. Correctional Deputy, Alan Alcaraz. Correctional Deputy, Jamie Ayon Sanchez. Correctional Deputy, Cole Bullock. Pinning the badge, his aunt, Lead Investigator Amy Contreras from our department. Correctional Deputy, Eileen Centeno. Pinning the badge, her uncle, Adrian Centeno. Yeah. Correctional Deputy, Tuesday Eversole. Pinning the badge, her stepfather, Lieutenant Wade Lenton. Correctional Deputy, Nathaniel Faustnight. Correctional Deputy, Raul Felix Jr. Correctional Deputy, Osvaldo Garcia. Correctional Deputy Vicente Garcia. Correctional Deputy Luke Godbold. Correctional Deputy Oriana Hernandez. Pinning the badge, her father, retired Lieutenant Eric Hernandez from the Riverside Sheriff's Department. Ariana, you can finally smile. Correctional Deputy Farhad Haider. Oh yeah, we got to get that one for the gram. Fantastic. Correctional Deputy Cameron Msande. Correctional Deputy Miguel Leyva. Correctional Deputy Brandon Marquez. Correctional Deputy Camden Martin. That was impressive, Martin. Correctional Deputy Juan Mendez. Correctional Deputy Haley Mladenovic. Pinning the badge, her brother, Correctional Deputy Devin Mladenovic. Family out there, they look like they like each other. That's fantastic. Correctional Deputy Adrian Montez Leyva. Correctional Deputy Michael Morales. Correctional Deputy Madison Mungia. Correctional Deputy Dylan Navarro. Correctional Deputy Leoncio Oliveria. Correctional Deputy Juan Perez. Correctional Deputy Hunter Quattlebaum. Pinning the badge, his uncle, Sergeant Mark Alanis. Correctional Deputy Diego Quintero. Correctional Deputy Adam Reyes. Correctional Deputy Aaron Rubalcava. Correctional Deputy Dante Sagrero. Correctional Deputy Jason Salazar Garcia. Correctional Deputy Christian Saraf. Correctional Deputy Mobashir Siddiqui. Correctional Deputy Robert Stan. Correctional Deputy Sebastian Torres. Correctional Deputy Brent Turnwall. Pinning the badge, his father, Lieutenant Roy Turnwall from the Department of Veteran Affairs. Correctional Deputy Aaron Ventura. Correctional Deputy Garrett Yazdani. And Correctional Deputy Karina Zamora Montalongo. How about one more round of applause for Class 102? We would now like to present the Correctional Deputy Academy Special Awards. These are the ones that the kids truly look forward to, as that spirit of competition and achievement runs through all of our academies. These are presented to the top recruits for academics, physical training, report writing, most inspirational, and our top overall. First up tonight, top academic performer, person with the highest GPA for our academy. They achieved a 94% over the hall. It's a difficult one. It's going to be from the Santa Ana Police Department. Correctional Officer Alexander Selavos. Next up, top report writer. It's a critical and vital part of our profession. The recruit with the highest of that area for our academy comes from the Riverside Sheriff's Department. Correctional Deputy Nathaniel Fausnight. Next up, top physical fitness. This one truly gets us, as this person received a 100% in this area across the entire academy. Extremely hard to do. From the Riverside Sheriff's Department on this one, Correctional Deputy Luke Godbold. Next up, most inspirational. This one takes that heavy task of inspiring their peers, digging deeper, pushing harder, seeing their goals and their entire team's goals through to completion. Making this award even more distinctive is the fact that the recruits themselves nominate this recipient. Most inspirational for us, Class 102, from the Riverside Sheriff's Department, Correctional Deputy Farhad Haider. As he called himself the old timer, he didn't see this one coming. Next up, our top overall. This one excels in all of our areas across the entire academy. Truly well deserved, as this one is voted on by TAC staff for the 102nd Basic Correctional Deputy Academy. Our top overall this time comes from the Santa Ana Police Department. Correctional Officer Natalie Anguiano. Our final award tonight, the James B. Evans Award. For the Riverside Sheriff's Department on May 9th, 1980, Deputy Evans responded with numerous other local law enforcement officers to our now infamous Norco bank robbery, which took place at the Security Pacific in the city of Norco. Deputy Evans was fatally wounded during a hostile exchange of gunfire with the suspects. At the time of his death, Deputy Evans held a bachelor's degree from Cal Baptist University and had completed all of the academic requirements for a master's degree in business administration from USC. He was scheduled to graduate, in fact, the following month. Based on the foregoing, it was appropriate that the award be established to honor and pay tribute to not just his service and sacrifice, but that core belief for our law enforcement profession of a continuing education piece. Our award, it includes a $1,000 scholarship and is awarded to the Academy graduate who has received the highest academic score and has committed within 6 months from the date of graduation to enroll in a qualified undergraduate or graduate degree program. Presenting that award tonight, President of the Riverside Sheriff's Association, Bill Young. For the 102nd, our James B. Evans Award goes to Riverside County Sheriff's Department, Correctional Deputy Jason Salazar Garcia. Let's give them one final round of applause. Job extremely well done. And please help me welcome back to the stage Correctional Deputy Brady to sing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you so much, Correctional Deputy Brady. As is customary with our profession, as the sheriff mentioned, it chooses us. That final piece for the 102nd tonight is the Correctional Deputy Code of Ethics. They have memorized their Code of Ethics, and we certainly invite all law enforcement personnel in the audience to stand and reaffirm that Code of Ethics with the graduates. This evening, leading us will be one of our TAC staff members. Correctional Deputy Owen, the floor is yours. Thank you to my audience. You certainly may be seated. As we begin to close tonight, I want to thank Chaplain Mazizi, the college, Correctional Deputy Brady, our administrative staff for their continued support of this. I will say to Class 102 personally, and the sheriff capitalized on it, you brought some solid squad members tonight. Your family was exceptional, and that's a hand to all of you. Quinteros, Martins, Karina, everyone here, fantastic job on your part. As we know, without your support, they certainly couldn't have done it the last 12 weeks. I want to thank my staff, as I know how difficult this is in the emotional trials and tribulations as we go through from start to finish. As the sheriff mentioned, collectively losing some 500 pounds across an academy is not unheard of for us, and it was truly represented here as well in 102. Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, that concludes our ceremony. Certainly, please give them time to exit as the pipe and drum band is going to carry us home, as they have so many times across the battlefields and law enforcement, dating back, quite frankly, to the dawn of law enforcement. Sergeant Gamendi, for the final time, you may now dismiss your class.